O'Neill, 2 L's. I serve the SGC under a General Hammond.
We're explorers. You see, we're from another planet.
The unstable vortex of a forming wormhole. Kawoosh.
Indeed.
Hello everybody, we are back for season 2 of the Kawoosh podcast. I am Arne and I'm joined as always by my co-host
Evie, hi.
And yeah, we are diving back into Stargate SG-1 and we are going to see how this cliffhanger resolves.
Can I just say that I'm very happy that you invited me back? Because...
Yes, it would have been very awkward. We live in the same house and everything.
Yeah, I would have been, if you would replace me, I would probably know that something was up.
Yeah. Who is that other person walking by? Are you doing a podcast up there?
No, we're just doing drugs.
No, I am very happy we're gonna start on season 2. And yeah, let's just dive into this episode, into the recap.
Did we get a previously on already? Or is this the first one?
We only get them when it's either a two-parter or there's some linking between episodes.
Yeah, because I remember it always being someone else, like they alternate, and this was Teal'c, and I like when it's Teal'c because he's all like previously on. He's very serious. And then they go, and now for the conclusion, or something like that. It's really nice.
So it ends with it starts with a recap of the previous 2 episodes, I think. No, it was actually mostly the last episode of last season. It was mostly that.
And you really needed those recaps back in the day.
Yeah, because it would have been at least half a year before you saw this. And it ends on like a reverse shot of the ending of last season, where it moved away from the window of the Goa'uld ship, and now it moves in to where they are standing, and it just picks up right where we left.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I quite like that. We zoom in on the bridge in the reverse, and the team is there. Jack wants to know if they placed enough C4 around the ship, and Carter tells him she did. And Daniel tells them to wait, but O'Neill thinks he wants to stall, but he actually places C4 on the bridge console. We see Daniel take one of the last pieces they have and put it there. So Jack preps the detonator and he says maybe I should say something profound right about now, but he has nothing. And at that point we see Apophis' ship enter view in the window. So they, at that point, realize that destroying this ship would not stop the other one.
Which is a bit weird that they're only asking it now, though.
But they really thought it was only one ship. For some reason, and maybe they should have known because they saw the television ball with Apophis, so maybe they could have guessed that he was on his way.
Nah.
But yeah. So at this point, Jack asks if the C4 is on a timer. And Carter tells him, yes, it's on a 24 hours. So meanwhile, we hear the Jaffa on the other side of the door banging and shooting, trying to force it open.
Which again, there's gotta be like safeguards or workarounds, or like, is the technician just on break on these ships because they have problems with doors? I mean, same like every RPG I play. I just
These doors are just as strong as they need to be for the scene most of the time. So they force it open and they throw in some kind of flash bang sonic grenade and it knocks out the whole team. And then we cut to credits. And which you remarked, it didn't have any new clips of this season. So it was identical to the one from last season.
To be fair, it costs money to make a new intro. And like there is something to say for...
reusing your assets.
Yeah, exactly. And people like being familiar with that.
Teal'c wakes up in a holding cell and he calls for O'Neill, who wakes up next to him. And they notice they have been blinded by the shock grenade, but the effects are temporary. And then when Jack wants to wake up Carter, she bites him.
That was nice. That was nice.
And immediately apologizes.
Well, to be fair, he was all like, who's in here? Who's in there? Like, if I get a hand to the face and I don't know who it is, I'm just...
And then Daniel is the last one to wake up, and he is being a downer, telling them they have failed. And he says, I lived through this before in the parallel universe, and blah, blah, blah. And at that point, we cut to the Jaffa, and they are putting Skara into the healing sarcophagus. And there is a masked Jaffa who reprimands the other one for failure and shoots him.
Which, can I reveal who it is yet, or are we gonna wait for that? I
reveal who it is.
Okay. Well, I recognize the voice, and it's Braytak, and he double taps the guy. Like, that's harsh. Like, okay, you're trying to, eliminate people that are against your cause, but that was like, you could have just tapped him once and put him in a closet somewhere or in timeout. I don't know.
But he is infiltrating and trying to do like the Jaffa would do in service of Apophis. So he has to play the part a little bit. And he's also...
It's still murder!
But
It's murder!
Let's be honest, he's a terrorist at this point.
I mean, they're all terrorists. They're
He's
literally
a
there to
freedom
blow
fighter.
up ships.
Exactly.
Yes, but still, like, especially since he's a Jaffa. So all Jaffas are sort of coerced. Coerced? Is that how I
Yeah,
say it? I
coerced,
feel
yeah.
like I say it wrong. I don't know. I would have felt better if it was just a one shot, and then we could have left it open if he was eliminated or captured. I'm overthinking it.
No, I do get what you're saying. They go over it very lightly. The fact that he shoots one of the people he swore to free.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think they did it because they want to be like, ooh, who's this guy? Tough in the mask, and they're in
Exactly.
trouble now. And then, aha, surprise, it's Braytak. And I just feel like, I don't know. I
So
love
it's
Braytak,
a
though.
plot convenience. And I think that's the reason why we recognize him immediately. I think if you saw this back in the day, you only had a couple of episodes with him
He's
up
only
to
in,
that
like,
point.
One, maybe two?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and you haven't seen it in half a year. There's no way you're going to recognize the voice. Like, unless,
Yeah.
you're like us. Like, you're like, hey, I know those crooked teeth. Like, I know what actor that is. You're insane in that. But, yeah.
Yeah. At the SGC, Colonel Samuels arrives, and Hammond wants to know why he's there. And he has been sent there by Senator Kinsey because the Pentagon wants them to do nothing to draw attention of the Goa'uld. And he blames Hammond for not burying the gate when he was ordered to.
Which is just, they already know you're there. What do you mean, don't do anything to attract attention?
but
Stay,
he's
this
a
feels very much
politician.
like stay very still. Like, their vision is based on motion. Like, you're gonna get eaten by the T-Rex.
They do have a plan, and they are prepping 2 rockets at Area 51 to fire on both ships. And if all goes well, the people of Earth will never have known they came this close to annihilation. Or at least that's what Samuel says.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It doesn't go well.
I think everybody can figure out that this
Yeah.
is not going to go well. We get to the ship where Apophis arrives via the rings.
I love the elevator rings. I love them.
Yeah, and the masked Jaffa reports to him, and he tells him Chlorel is in the sarcophagus.
Can I just say that it was kind of a weird design choice. I get why Braytak is not taking off his mask at this point, because the audience still can't know that it's Braytak. But that means Apophis doesn't look at, like, the neck. Apophis looks up at the eyes, and it felt weird because he's supposed to be his superior, but he kept looking up, and they kind of tried to trick it with the camera angle so you don't really see that he's looking up, but he's still looking up.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, I notice weird stuff like that. But if
Well, that's
I
a good
was
point,
like
actually.
a deity, I would not look up to my soldiers. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and also Braytak would take off out of respect, I feel. So again, plot convenience. So,
Yeah, and Apophis wants to take revenge for his son, which is... I kind of get it, but he's gonna be fine in just a moment, so...
Still, they dared to defy and hurt a god. So,
Yeah.
Apophis is on point with, he's very consistent.
Yeah, but that actor is amazing.
Oh, he's so good.
So back on Earth, Samuels is briefing Hammond and other generals that they have built the Goa'uld Busters, or at least that's what they call the rockets. Warheads enriched with Naquadah, the Stargate material.
Which is just...
And they think it's their best shot. And the countdown has been started. Hammond doesn't believe him, and if they fail, every country on Earth will find out about the Goa'uld and possibly the Stargate.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, and then in the holding cell on the ship, they hear Jaffa approaching, and the door opens, revealing Braytac.
But first, there's this very cool shadow, like silhouette, like very dramatic.
Yeah, but the helmets are really cool, and I'm actually glad they're still using them because I guess they're really heavy, and they will start to use them less and less and less. But they're so cool.
They are very cool.
He angrily punches Jack in the nose. They endangered his infiltration in Apophis' ranks. And Teal'c defends them, says the humans will help free the Jaffa from the false gods.
I wrote, O'Neill is not having a great day. Because he got bit and then he got punched.
Yeah, but Braytac does not take any shit. I love that about him. And he tells them he's been ordered to execute them, but he will disregard the order and takes them away.
No. He says, I was ordered to execute you. Long pause. But I chose to. You can see them all like...
And then back at the SGC, Airman Harriman is showing Hammond that the two ships have stayed in orbit. They haven't attacked yet. And scanning the footage, he found a flash inside one of the spaceships right before they stopped. And Hammond believes it might be SG-1, but Samuels disagrees.
I call bullshit on them being able to film that close. Like...
It wasn't really close. It was like
still,
far off still.
Yeah. It's...
But you are correct in that at that point, most of the satellites would have been pointing downward to Earth. So the fact that they were able to pick up the ships and make photos of them is convenient.
It is
not
convenient.
Impossible.
Yeah, but especially since they're trying to like keep everything hidden from the world, like people are watching our satellites. Like if a satellite is suddenly gonna go do other stuff, like somebody's gonna notice.
I think back then that wasn't that big a thing.
I don't know.
Nowadays, I think everybody would just notice immediately. I don't know. I don't know enough about satellites, but on the ship, Braytac brings them up to speed, and he tells them he was planning to play out both Chlorel and Apophis against each other. Jack tells him Chlorel is dead, but Braytac was the one putting him in the sarcophagus to delay the attack, so Earth could summon their ships for an attack.
To be fair, I mean, there is no reason for Braytac to believe that they don't
Of
have
course,
ships.
for
Because
all he knows, they're a spacefaring race, so it is logical to him. So Daniel and Jack have to inform him that they don't have ships, they maybe just have a couple of shuttles. And at the SGC, Hammond is briefing the chosen people because they have gathered. This is a trope that will come back again and again. The chosen people that will be evacuated to the base that they are calling the Alpha Site to continue the species if Earth is destroyed.
Which at this point they haven't warned Earth about it, so those are all Americans.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they did try to get more color in the background in this episode, but it's still like predominantly white. So yeah, I
now
don't
in later
like...
seasons they will
Yeah,
adjust
but
this.
I know, but still, like just the whole idea of the Alpha Site annoys me.
Yeah.
But I already said a lot of that on the last one, so I won't.
Yeah. And he's also doing it in front of the gate that is dialing, so it's actually pretty cool seeing him standing there with the gate in the background.
I mean, you have to have the gate. It's our gate.
Yeah, it's a cool shot. And so yeah, and he tells them that if they fail to save Earth, the Alpha Site will be their new home. Now back on the ship, the sarcophagus opens and Chlorel wakes up, and he wants to burn the Earth, and his eyes flash.
Back on
lost.
Earth, they notice the ships are moving again because he woke up.
So yeah, so back on Earth, they notice the ships. Thank you, honey.
Ah.
Starting the attack on Earth, so they sound the alarm. And then on the ship, Braytac says it is time to counterattack. And he has 3 men loyal to him, 4 with Teal'c.
We never learned their names, but that's okay. Don't get attached.
Yeah, none of them will survive the episode.
They're all... Yeah, that was... And they go over it very lightly. Like he doesn't even take time to mourn them or he doesn't even take time to mourn them or anything. It's they're very convenient plot devices. I don't know.
It's very much this idea of they died for a good cause, so we don't need to pay attention to it. Jack tells him it might be time for a new plan. He doesn't believe in dying for the cause, and they have 24 minutes before the C4 blows.
He doesn't believe in it because he's a producer on this series, so they won't just, off him in season 2.
It's a bit weird for a very militaristic person to not believe this.
Also, he was just about to blow himself up before they were all like, no, wait, we have a timer and stuff.
A bit convenient, yeah.
Yeah.
Chlorel is on the bridge and he moves the ship to attack, and back on Earth, Samuels is on the phone. They are in position, both rockets are launched, and they are following it on a computer monitor.
I wrote down nice stock footage.
Yeah.
But you have to use what you have, and that's some pretty good stock footage of two rockets being launched.
I think they show it mostly on a monitor,
yeah,
and they film the monitor.
Which is very smart.
Yeah, because you may not have the resolution you want to for a TV show, so
yeah,
convenient and smart.
No, but it's smart.
Hammond and Samuels follow the progress on the monitor while Harron keeps them informed. Like you always have somebody who's there to yell out how far it is until impact.
Counting down.
So, and then Samuels apologizes and tries to reassure Hammond that the SGC probably isn't on the ships. He also wants to stop the evacuation because it's probably not going to be necessary anymore. And then Apophis on the ship sees the two rockets coming, so like two little dots of light coming closer, and he says ominously, "Let them come." And then both Goa'uld ships are monitoring the rockets with Chlorel on the bridge, and something is fighting his hand from activating the shield.
I like that, like this little glimmer of hope that,
Yeah, but his eyes flash, and then he hits the shields, and both rockets explode premature.
I really like that scene because, one, you can see that, the host is fighting it, but also Apophis is worried because he shouts out, he's like, raise your shields.
Yeah. It's kind of tense because you like, oh, they will have shields, but the fact that we see this thing happening with a character that we really like, and it gives us like you said, it gives us a little bit of hope, like, oh, maybe he is still in there, because we saw that in the last episode that when his host was stunned, that he was actually coming through.
Yeah, and I really like that you get more about the relationship between Apophis and, his son.
Yeah, like he does care.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen, actually, because he is always very distant and commanding. And this is like the first time the mask slips a little bit.
You see a little bit of worry, like...
The SGC hears it inside the ship, like they hear the explosions, and at the SGC they confirm that the impact was outside of the ship.
I like how you can actually see it impact the shields and it doesn't do anything, and it was very Independence Day.
Yeah. Also, Independence Day and the Stargate movie, same director. Has nothing to do with this because the series is completely different people, but since you made the parallel. Meanwhile, Braytech and SG-1 are moving through the ship towards the bridge, standard running through corridors.
It's the same corridor.
Then Hammond is on the red phone, and the EMP from the blast is already causing problems, and he urges the president to get to safety.
I wrote it down as the red magic phone, and I just wonder, it's still like a landline at this point. At a certain point in time, they upgrade to cell phones. Does that mean that there is one red cell phone? Or is the icon in your cell phone the red phone?
I am pretty sure that it is still a landline.
Just in case something goes wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you knock out the towers, you still have the landline.
That is a very good point. Yeah.
I think.
So part of the military training then becomes, this is a landline. This is how you dial this landline.
But it is completely self-sufficient because back in the day, the telephone wires were also powering your phone.
Very true, very true. Because sometimes your electricity went out, but you still had your phone.
Exactly. So I think it would be logical that they would still have the landline. Now, okay, but nowadays you have a UPS. There will be a battery on site for several hours. But I don't know.
Still,
this seems so much simpler.
Yeah, like
I think they would
if it
still
ain't
have
broken,
this.
don't fix it and just
Exactly.
leave it there.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have fax machines in Japan.
Because it works.
Well, mostly because
Well,
because people don't like change.
Chlorel arrives on the bridge with Apophis, and like there's a lot of back and forth. They use the rings to go from one ship to the other constantly in this one. And he tells his father that the host he chose for him is too strong and that he is fighting him. But Apophis won't hear of it, and he sends him back to his ship. And in that one alcove of the ship, they come across two guards, and Braytech takes him out. Like, I recognize that alcove from last episode. Like,
I love how Braytech, he's like taking all these people to the bridge, and it kind of feels like a teacher on an excursion.
it kind of is
like,
actually.
He's like this way and this is how you do it, and it just feels like he's such a teacher. That's such a vibe that is a big part of that character.
Now, meanwhile, Samuels wants to use the gate to send the bomb to Jackson's coordinates, or maybe even to Chulak, but Hammond refuses.
Thank you.
He says that the first time they tried dialing the gate to those coordinates, it didn't work, and he says the people of Chulak are innocent. And then Samuels pivots and he asks to be allowed to join the people on the Alpha side. And at that point, Hammond just shuts him down and tells him he will have to stay until the end.
Yeah, but he also says just like me, because Hammond is not running, which is...
Of course. But that was such a powerful moment for him.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then they have a...
And it also just shows who Samuels is. He's an opportunist. And the moment he was like, oh, maybe this isn't going the way I want to, he tries to run.
To be fair, I mean, if bombs were coming, I would run too.
Yeah, but the fact that he put himself like, I want to go to the Alpha site, that he thinks that he's important enough to go there, no.
I mean,
everybody
I still
should be able
hate
to go.
the Alpha site, but I love that Hammond's like, you're not going, I'm not going, none of us are going.
Exactly.
And then they have a very nice transition from there to the ship.
Yeah,
like,
you wrote that down.
I wrote it down with an exclamation mark and everything. It's just, I like the wipes when it like goes
a
from
natural
one,
wipe,
yeah, like from one location to the other. I like that.
Yeah, and Braytech joins Chlorel on the bridge with SGC on the outside. And he confronts Chlorel, telling him he is not a god, only a parasite in a child. And as Chlorel uses the hand weapon on him, Braytech tells him he will die free. Then the team enters, fighting off the guards, and Daniel is covering their rear in the hallway, but badly.
Daniel, why are you fighting two-handed, is what I wrote down. Like, that is a skill not many people have. You're not even really military trained. You probably only have basic training. So why are you going like...
Yeah,
what is that?
But I love the fact it's so clumsy.
Yeah, because it doesn't work.
Exactly. He's trying to. He clearly has no idea what he's doing, and he gets shot.
Yeah, which Daniel almost dies. And this is like, did the counter of Daniel almost dies just move to 2? We only had it once, right, last season?
I think so,
that they thought they lost him?
And this... Yeah, but he didn't really die. Wasn't that the episode with the underwater creature?
Yeah, but they thought he died.
Okay, yeah.
Because he never really does die.
No,
and even when he does, they bring him back.
And here he is... he's wounded. He's mortally wounded, but of course he's close to the sarcophagus, so he's not really going to die. But anyway.
Which, he's just like, Jack, it's okay, leave me. And then he crawls to the sarcophagus. Like, can you just be like, Jack, it's okay, put me in there and run. Like, I don't know. It felt... I'm not sure why they did the whole Daniel thing, to be fair, to be honest.
It's especially since it is exactly what happens in a movie. He dies in the movie too,
really?
and then somebody puts... I think it's Ra who puts him in the sarcophagus in that one.
I just don't understand,
so
like...
they keep using it.
It's also like, we have to up the stakes. They're attacking the planet, the entire planet. So you're upping the stakes by one Daniel? Like, I'm not entirely sure why they did this.
That's because you don't like it.
No, I'm just wondering what the point was of this.
Just raising the stakes. Like, one of the main characters might die, but yeah.
Okay, well, back in the day, of course, we couldn't, like, get hints of season... You had to be very, very... You either had to go and, like, do a stakeout yourself on the set. It's not like today when you can just Google pictures of...
Yeah.
so nobody knew.
But
who
nobody
was
was
filmed.
covering it because the internet wasn't either a thing or as big as it is right now.
I just wonder what the whole thing was, especially because later on it's not like a whole big thing that he's alive.
Yeah, it's actually that because
Yeah.
he's gone and he returns and they're like, hey, and that's it.
And I think they meant to make it that because Daniel makes it back, he's able to save them when they're floating in space. But they don't make that clear enough. I don't know.
So yeah, he's covering their rear, he gets shot, and then he tells Jack to leave him. They don't have time, and he will stay and watch their back. Braytac activates the ring, and Daniel stays on the ship. And they ring over to Apophis' ship. They have Chlorel as a hostage, so they manage to get out. And they leave him as a hostage on the bridge, and they move out to destroy the shield generator on this ship. Braytac moves the ships closer together, and he because he wants to try to blow them up at the same time.
I wrote down, and I don't know why, just pet the door, it'll be fine. Why did I do that?
I don't know. Is it because they did the same thing to lock it? They shot like the handle on the door, the
I don't know.
hierarchy.
There was something with the door. I should make better notes. I also wrote down, I love his eyebrows. I know who that is about. That is Apophis.
Yeah, because he's disappointed in Chlorel.
That is like, oh my gosh, like drag queens have to study these eyebrows. They're amazing.
And then Braytac takes the team to a chasm, because that's where the shield generator is.
And I wrote down, I know this place. This is where Luke lost his hand.
It
Literally
does
just,
look like that.
it looks like somebody was like,
Yeah.
I know what a reactor looks like. I watched Star Wars. Here you go. Which makes no sense because the shape doesn't scream pyramids to me. It's very round. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's also a very throwaway scene because
It
like they
is.
make it, oh no, we have to go down there, and Braytac is ready to climb down, and then in the end, Jack just literally just drops a grenade.
Which, I mean, when we do it in the role play, it's
You
a
make it
bad
very
idea.
hard for me, yeah.
But when Jack does it, it's okay.
I know.
Like,
And then he asks Braytac what to do now, and he answers, "Now we die."
and Jack goes, well, that's a bad plan, which I agree.
And he immediately goes like, "Where's the glider bay?"
But which just makes it, were you so set on, suicide bombing yourself all the way in the beginning of the
But
episode?
I think Braytac at this point,
No, not Braytac, Jack. Because that's the second time he's like, I'm not ready to die for this.
Yeah.
Like, but in the beginning, you're like, I don't know.
that was their whole plan in the beginning,
Yeah.
and for some reason, it really is because Braytac has taken over that role now with his team. It seems like
So you're saying Jack has ADHD, and as soon as somebody else suggests it, well, now I don't want to do it anymore because that's a mood, and I can get behind that because same.
if they would have played it like that, it would have been awesome. Well, now I'm not dying anymore. If you want to die, I'm not dying.
But that's just very like, this is my idea. Hey, what do we do this? No,
We're not dying together.
just.
I want to die on my terms.
I wrote down yeet why, and what I noticed is when they go to the glider base, they just chuck their staff weapons. Like it would have
Yeah.
fit. Like why did
Yeah.
you chuck it?
Like
I'm
those
like-
are expensive to make.
Right? Like yeet. Like you're in the resistance. That's an expensive weapon. Like maybe not toss it. I don't know.
Back on Earth, they are monitoring, and there's two ships that are moving closely together, and Hammond is like, what's going on in there? And then in orbit, they now use a shock grenade on the glider pilots, and they split into two ships. Jack joins Braytac, and Teal'c takes Carter. We cut back to the sarcophagus as it opens with a healed Daniel Jackson waking
Can I
up.
just say, he got shot and he was dying. And I want to say Sharae, but what's the name of the son of Apophis again?
Skara, Sharae is his wife.
Oh my gosh, just cut that out. I
She
just thought-
also went into the sarcophagus in the movie and came
No,
back.
okay, so Skara
It's a
is the
thing.
boy, is the host. What's the son of Apophis' name again?
Chlorel.
Chlorel. He was wounded mortally, and he cooked for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel was in there for 5 minutes.
It's a little bit like when you get face hugged. It just depends on the plot of the movie, how long it takes
Oh,
for it to
okay,
come out.
okay.
And
Also-
the sarcophagus is the same principle.
Next question, why did it heal his clothes?
Because it's magic.
Okay.
It's space magic from the Goa'uld.
Okay, cool. I just feel like because we know the actor that plays Daniel doesn't mind showing chest, so it's not gonna be that.
I think
I
I
think-
just genuinely think it's just it's a mistake. It's a continuity
Yeah, I
mistake.
think it
Maybe they
is.
shot it out of order or somebody just forgot.
Yeah, but I just look if this heals me in 5 minutes plus it repairs clothes, can I have one?
We don't have room.
We will make room for the magical thing. Also, does it fix celiac disease? That's my next question.
Probably, yes.
See,
Probably,
that's
yeah.
what I just wondering. Like, anyway,
And it's gold, so it probably works on solar power or something.
I mean, you can bury it forever with.
Yeah, and it still works,
Yeah, it
so,
still
yeah.
works. Like, meanwhile, our DVD player, if you like crook it a bit and it's too dusty, like, it doesn't work anymore. I wrote down that I do like Daniel's idea of using the Stargate.
Yeah.
He's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
there's a very easy way off this ship, and it's by using the Stargate.
Yeah, he checks the time on the C4 because, of course, all the C4s have a timer on them, and then he quickly runs away.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other bridge, Apophis and Chlorel escape in the rings because they notice something is off. And that's the last we see of them. So they go in the rings, and they disappear. We don't know where. And then Daniel runs up to the gate and starts dialing while the others fly away in the gliders. And then right as both ships crash into each other, they explode and Daniel jumps through the gate. And on Earth, Harriman is getting reports of a big fireball in the night sky and everybody cheers.
Which it could just be that they shot at you and that's why there's a big fireball in the sky. Like, I feel like this is very little information to then start cheering for.
But they have to start wrapping the
I know,
episode up.
I know.
so-
I'm just...
But you're right. It's purely visual reports of people back on Earth. The two gliders get knocked out and they are drifting in low orbit. And while Carter is communicating this to Jack, he tells her to look up to that big, beautiful blue ball and that they saved it. I thought that was a really cool moment,
It
actually.
was, especially also concerning Carter's history with astronauts. I'm
Yeah.
saying it wrong, but like, she's, yeah. No.
But she's also being technical about it. She's like, okay, we're in orbit, we're going down this many hours before we burn up, and
Jack's all like,
but he's
take-
back on the dying for the good cause now because he's like, oh, just enjoy the blue planet while
Well, yeah,
we
but
die.
that's because there's no way out, and Jack
Yeah.
is very
But it-
much like rolling
but it
with
is
the punches.
beautiful. Yeah,
it
it is a beautiful moment. And back at the SGC, the gate activates. There's one traveler, and Daniel walks out. He went to the Alpha site and then returned home. But Hammond wants to know where the others are. And then we cut back to the ships where Braytak tells Teal'c they will die well. And Teal'c confirms they will die free. And at that point, a space shuttle arrives. And we cut to the gate room on Earth where they get a hero's welcome. And Hammond proudly stands before them and thanks Braytak. At which point he finally calls him Hammond of Texas. And I think this is the first time because this is the
to his
first time
face,
they meet.
to his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just ask, for the entire episode, there's this guy at Hammond's shoulder, and he's very military, and he has the ugliest haircut. And he never speaks, but he's always right there behind Hammond's shoulder, and I'm just wondering, did a fan win a contest, or was it take your weird cousin to work day? Like, what is the deal there? Does that character have a name?
No idea.
Yeah.
Could be just an extra that they thought.
Yeah, but he's always right there in the shot, so it feels very deliberate. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we have this very awkward Daniel reveal because, ta-da, look who's still alive. And Daniel has to, like, zigzag between all the extras.
He was actually already in the room, which
Yeah,
is kind
he
of
was just
weird.
listening like, hey, they don't know I'm alive. Like,
Yeah.
this is weird. Also, because doesn't he reveal himself after Braytak leaves?
Yeah, because Braytak says he will return to Chulak to train more warriors, and I think at that point he leaves. And then
Which
Hammond
is weird
says,
because Teal'c is not allowed to leave because he knows too many secrets of Earth. But they're just like, okay, bye now, Braytak. Like, nobody in the military. Then again, Hammond, probably there's a lot of red tape going on, and Hammond's
but
just
Braytak
like shooing him off, maybe.
probably didn't really get look at the base or something. Teal'c lives there,
I
and
know,
he does
I
missions
know.
with them, so it's different.
I am overthinking it.
So yeah, like you said, Daniel walks out of the crowd, they hug, and the camera pulls back through the gate, and we fade to black.
And also the crowd that he has to weave through, there's like very clear, like, okay, so I think we had some complaints last season, so we're gonna put some black dudes here and some Asian dudes there, and there, diversity, we fixed it. Like, yeah. It was just very obvious to me that they
Well,
put
at
some
least they tried.
Well, yeah, but
it would have been better if they were characters or at least had some lines or
it
something.
would have been
but yeah.
better if their lighting was adapted to dark skin, you know, all of that.
Yeah, that kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Can I just, like, I think one of the theories is, you said where does Apophis go because they only have the 2 ships, right?
This will get cleared up.
Oh, because, like, with the rings, the distance that you can travel with those elevator rings isn't very far.
Mm-hmm.
Do they go down to Earth and do they go into hiding? Like,
I don't remember exactly where
do they
go.
accidentally discover, do they accidentally share Velcro with the world, like the Vulcans? I don't know. I just need answers.
I'm pretty sure they will actually come back to this,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even in the start of the next episode. Like, I believe they see a flash on one of the ships before it explodes, and they see like a direction of a signal or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it will come back.
So they got uploaded in the cloud. Okay.
Something
cool.
like that, yeah.
Cool. So what I took away from this, like, in the beginning I was all complaining about how Stargate Atlantis, when they do their big, and now the conclusion, it takes them 5 minutes, and then they spend the rest of the episodes on something else. This, for me, was the reverse for me. I was like, I would have loved, like, a little more at the end, and a little less, let's cut back to Earth again to talk about rockets that aren't gonna work. Like, some of those scenes back on Earth, you didn't really need them. But they have this thing of cutting. I feel like because it's edited to fit into the commercial breaks, and they want to go back to Earth between every commercial break, just in case you forget Earth exists, maybe? I don't know.
It's a technique to
Yeah.
ramp up tension, because if you cross-cut between 2 things, but there's not enough going on down there.
Yeah.
I think they could do more. Samuels being there was actually a good idea. Mm-hmm. They could have done a lot more with that. Because, like you said, they don't fix it in 5 minutes. They take a whole episode. But they also took a whole episode just running around the ship last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had more than enough time to do more with this.
Yeah. I mean, you do have a lot of characters you have to juggle. And I do love that they bring back Braytak, because you really have this sense of, you know, the revolution is ramping up.
Yeah,
And
but we still have like 7 more seasons before that actually pays off.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet now.
Okay, yeah. But the moment he shows up, you immediately put Carter and Teal'c on the back burner.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of lines after that anymore.
Which is kind of a shame.
It
And
is.
they also didn't do a lot in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you could do more with this. Like, if all they're gonna do is run around the ship, then have a better secondary plot.
Yeah.
That can be on Earth. I don't know what it could be, but I think they couldn't just do more than run around, fight some Jaffa, run around some more, fight some Jaffa.
Yeah,
It's very
like-
clear that the last episode they were all banking on Chlorel and the reveal with Skara and that he's still in
Which
there,
they could-
which works
Well,
really
yeah,
well.
but they could have done more with that, because, like, you gave us a glimpse of Apophis and Chlorel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
give me more of that. Like,
Yeah, they really stretched these few things they had over 2 episodes and I think if they added something more, like give Hammond a good story back on Earth, which he really deserves.
yeah, but then again, I'm gonna disagree, but only because Hammond's white, and I do love that, like, we have,
Okay,
you know,
yeah,
more
sure.
colored people showing up and actually doing stuff. But I agree, Hammond is an interesting character, and I do love that he had his moments to, like, deny permissions. That was very nice.
But yeah, I think they can just flesh those things out a little bit more, and I think there will be a lot more fun, will be more rewarding in the end, because
Yeah.
it works. It's actually a really good wrap up.
Yeah,
of a
and
two-parter.
it basically fixes, the issue from last thing that like they were gonna decommission the Stargate. They're not gonna decommission the Stargate after this.
So yeah, if you look at those, is it 3 or 4? There's like a 4-episode arc. Yeah, you have the Daniel in the parallel universe. You have the politics episode, and then you have the two-parter here. As a whole, that really works. But those 2 standalones actually work better in this overarching thing than the two-parter, which could have used a little bit more meat on the bones.
Yeah, but I can also understand why they don't want to drag it out for another episode, because you really want people who are just tuning in now, you want them to you want to go back to the Gate of the Week for
Yeah.
a little while at least.
Yeah, but you want to get back, have a good action episode, and wrap the plot up. So it really does what it needs to do. It brings back characters, like it's a lot of action. You have all the Goa'uld in there, so it works. It
Yeah,
really
it's not
works.
because I'm nitpicking here that I'm not having fun. I mean,
No. Like, I'm having some ideas how they could improve on it, but it is a really good episode.
Yeah, and
As a
also-
season starter and a 2-part ending, I've seen a lot worse.
yeah, and plus it's only at season 2. They're still sort of finding their footing, and it's a big thing they did. Like, not many series were filming on spaceships at this point in time either.
True.
So-
Yeah, they have a lot of big sets. They have a lot of characters. They have a lot of costumes. Like, it's an expensive show, and it looks like it.
But yeah, so here we go. Season 2. 1 episode down.
20-ish to go.
20-ish. That is an official count.
Yeah.
20-ish to go.
I think it's 21 episodes. Last season was 21 episodes.
I am trying not to Google. Sorry, I am trying not to look up like what's coming. Like, I'm trying to just go in. Well, not blind because I've seen all of them, but just see what's coming.
I did prepare some thumbnails already for like half of the episodes of season 2, and I was actually pleasantly surprised that there's some stuff from last season that will be touched upon again, that will come back in a good way.
Please, not Hathor.
No, I don't think
Yay.
so. But there were some things that we remarked when we were like watching Thor's hammer, and they will go back to that planet, and we will see the fallout of what they did there. So that's actually really, really cool, because we had some remarks like, "Oh, you're just gonna leave," and so they're actually gonna go back and deal with that. So yeah, and more than once, there's like a couple of episodes like, "Oh, okay, they're bringing this back already. That's cool. Oh, this is coming back." So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this season. It's been a
You
while.
better, otherwise, like, oh god, more homework.
But yeah, I don't remember exactly what was in these first couple of seasons, so I'm really curious to see which ones, because we found out that there was a lot of the really good ones, the memorable ones were already in season 1, so that's really cool. So I'm curious to see if there's more of these really, really good ones in season 2. Season 2.
Yeah, we have to get back into the schwung of things. All right, so now we're gonna do wrap up.
Wrap it up. Where can people find you online?
I am on Threads now. I'm trying.
I noticed,
Instagram kept saying like, "Hey, all the cool people are over there." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm not cool, but let me just try." Anyway, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Insta, and I'm on Threads as Evie Belknap, and on Blue Sky. Where are you?
I am on YouTube, on Blue Sky as Iridonian. I think I'm also Iridonian on TikTok, and I'm Arne Köstermans on Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, keep an eye out on this YouTube page, because pretty soon we will be starting our Alien RPG campaign over here. So hang in there, this is gonna be really cool.
We're having a lot of fun.
And they're in there too.
Yes, that's because I live here.
Okay, we will be seeing you, well, you will be seeing us, we won't be seeing you next week for the second episode of season 2. Bye.